Cleo Smith's mother has revealed how her daughter was allegedly lured out of the family tent by a lie before she was abducted for 18 days. Ellie Smith said her 4-year-old daughter was told her baby sister was sick before she was snatched from the tent at the Blowholes campsite near Carnarvon, in Western Australia, on October 16. Miss Smith said her daughter had blocked out some memories of the abduction since her rescue 18 days later, but vividly remembered why she was allegedly taken by 36-year-old Terrence Darrell Kelly. She tells us that she was taken because her baby sister was sick, Miss Smith told 60 Minutes on Sunday. Cleo Smith's mother has revealed how her daughter was allegedly lured out of the family tent by a lie before she was abducted for 18 days. Ellie Smith, pictured with partner Jake Glidden, said her 4-year-old daughter was told her baby sister was sick before she was snatched from the tent at the Blowholes campsite near Carnarvon, in Western Australia, on October 16. And so she needed to be taken away from us so that we could help her baby sister. Miss Smith and her partner Jake Glidden were interviewed exclusively by Channel 9 reporter Tara Brown after the network seized a $2 million deal, following a tough bidding war with 7 News. Miss Smith claims Kelly had unzipped the side of the tent where she and her partner Mr. Glidden had been sleeping on the night Cleo was abducted. The pair had been sharing the tent with the 4-year-old who was sleeping on the other side. Obviously he didn't know where he was, Miss Smith said. He didn't know what side of the tent she was in. He must have looked at ours and realized she's not in this side, and then gone to the other side and that's where she was. Nearly 3 weeks passed before detectives finally forced their way into a locked room just 7 kilometers from Cleo's family home and found the little girl playing with toys. In heartwarming footage of the 4-year-old, Cleo is seen blowing bubbles, cradling her baby sister Isla, playing on a water slide and even painting her dad's toenails. Miss Smith claims Kelly had unzipped the side of the tent where she and her partner Mr. Glidden had been sleeping on the night Cleo was abducted. In a never-before-seen home video, Cleo is seen dancing and singing the morning after she was discovered by detectives in a locked room 18 days after she disappeared, pictured. Indications that old Cleo still existed came just hours after her miraculous rescue when she happily danced on camera the very next morning. However, her mother said she could sense something had shifted. Despite the heartwarming scenes, the harrowing 18 days Cleo spent imprisoned at the mercy of a stranger has changed the little girl's life forever. Local man Terrence Darrell Kelly, 36, has since pleaded guilty to her abduction. That was such a beautiful moment just to see her as the old Cleo, but you could still see, for us, she's still different and she always will be, and that's just our life now, Miss Smith said. As a parent, you want to make sure that they stay as a child for as long as they can because you don't want them to be in this big, bad world, and she lost that was taken from her. Miss Smith revealed her small daughter still needs all the lights on in the house to fall asleep and has developed an aversion to locked doors, having been locked in a room in Kelly's house. She said the 4-year-old woke up screaming during her first days back at home and admitted the nightmare experience had been tough on both Cleo and the family. Miss Smith revealed her small daughter, pictured soon after she was rescued, still needs all the lights on in the house to fall asleep and has developed an aversion to locked doors. Her hair was also cut and colored from her usual blonde locks. Her emotions are very up and down. She's blocked out a lot as to what's happened. She kind of went into survivor mode and pushed it very far away, she said. We've got a long way to go and so does she. She's probably going to have to be dealing with this for the rest of her life, and we're going to eventually have to find out everything that's happened and we're going to have to carry that as well. Of her time in captivity, Cleo has disclosed she was scared and locked in a room, however speaks little of her captor, with her parents careful not to push too hard. Miss Smith said receiving the 1 a.m. phone call that Cleo had been found alive had been one of the scariest but most beautiful moments of her life. I was asleep when the phone call came through and I was like, this is either good or bad, the 24-year-old revealed. I've answered it and straight away, the police officer said, I've got someone who wants to say hello to you. And I was swearing, I was like, oh my god, no way. Of her time in captivity, Cleo, pictured with her baby sister Isla, told her family she was scared and locked in a room, however speaks little of her captor, with her parents careful not to push too hard. Cleo's disappearance sparked a desperate 18-day manhunt before the little girl was found inside the house of local man, Terrence Darrell Kelly, 36, on November 3rd. Cleo got onto the phone and she's like, "Hi mummy," and I was like, "Hi baby." The couple rushed to the hospital and found Cleo sitting on a bed. Miss Smith said she immediately noticed her daughter's blonde hair had been cut and dyed. "I was just angry that someone tried changing her to kind of fit what they wanted," she said. She said she got the pink put in her hair and then it washed out. She said it didn't work, and we had to then get her hair cut again because it was basically all cut into chunks. Cleo's disappearance sparked a desperate land, sea and air search before the little girl was found in the house of local man, Kelly, on November 3rd. Detectives found the 4-year-old awake and playing with small toy cars and have been captured asking the little girl for her name, before she replies, "My name is Cleo." Miss Smith said although Kelly's future intentions for Cleo remain unclear, it was obvious he was obsessed with dolls and had collected dozens of the Bratz variety, pictured. Miss Smith, pictured, said receiving the 1 a.m. phone call that Cleo had been found alive had been one of the scariest but most beautiful moments of her life. In a bombshell new detail, it was revealed Cleo's bright pink bike, pictured, parked outside the family tent had first indicated to Kelly a small child was inside. Miss Smith said although Kelly's future intentions for Cleo are unclear, it was obvious he was obsessed with dolls and had collected dozens of the Bratz variety. That's what he wanted a little doll. "It's just so sickening and disgusting," she said. In a bombshell new detail, it was revealed Cleo's bright pink bike parked outside the family tent had indicated to Kelly a small child was inside. Cleo had a bike at the front which indicated we had a child in that tent and that was all he needed to know, Miss Smith said. She also revealed Kelly had been following her on Facebook and had therefore seen her desperate pleas for her daughter to be returned safe and sound. The couple said Kelly had convinced Cleo he took her from the tent so her parents could tend to her baby sister who he said was sick, pictured, forensics at the crime scene. "It's so heartless, I was begging for my daughter and someone had her and was reading me begging for her back," the 24-year-old said. The couple said Kelly had convinced Cleo he had taken her from the tent so her parents could tend to her baby sister who he said was sick. The young couple now planned to move away from Carnarvon and said they would never visit the Blowholes campsite again, planning to soon hit the road in a caravan for a family trip around the state. "The girls are going to have such an amazing life and we're going to stay positive about that," Miss Smith said. On January 24th, Terrence Kelly, pictured, pleaded guilty to a single charge of taking Cleo from her family's tent at the remote Blowholes campsite. On January 24th, Kelly pleaded guilty to a single charge of taking Cleo from her family's tent at the remote Blowholes campsite. The 36-year-old admitted to the abduction during a brief court appearance in Carnarvon in a video link from a prison 900 kilometers south of the town. He faces a potential sentence of up to 20 years in prison on a conviction of forcibly taking a child aged under 16. Kelly will next appear in a Western Australian State District Court in Perth on March 20th, where he will eventually be sentenced but ultimately avoid a criminal trial. He has not entered a plea to other criminal charges he faces, including assaulting a public officer the day after his arrest, which have been adjourned to a later date.